Hi everyone. The insecurity in Nigeria has somehow become a familiar spirit. Don't get me wrong, there's a reason why I say it's a familiar spirit. And for some time now, I've been trying to really look at things from a different perspective. Yeah, we should all talk about in terms of the fact that the present government has not really been acting in a way we expect them to act or leading us in a way we would expect them to lead us. Pardon me to say, it's these things happen because of our various views and individual perception and thoughts how we want things to be. Logically, it happens with all government and all sitting president. It will happen. Not everybody will be satisfied. I'm one of those who have somehow also criticized the present government, that is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But just for some days back, after about 2 to 3 posts, me ranting regarding the insecurity and the kidnapping of teachers and the students at Uyo, I just sat down because I was feeling so much pain. I started asking some questions personally, and that drew me to a more wider search in terms of what's really going on with the insecurity in Nigeria. And this makes me start thinking that I want to make believe, personally, my opinion, quote, personally, my opinion, I want to make believe that there are some people diabolically trying to sabotage the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I may be wrong. Like, again, I say, we have individual perception. We have our opinions. But my opinion stand from now, there are some people practically sabotaging the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just to get away with this. Now, let me start breaking down some things. You see, let's take it back to former President Goodluck Jonathan. Towards the end of his regime when the election was coming out, what happened in Nigeria? We saw insecurity became something like we had not seen before. Then it was Boko Haram, them seizing territories. That's what Boko Haram started with. And yeah, there were kidnaps and all that, but it was basically as more operational like a terrorist group. It escalated. And that rose people's public opinion in terms of the insecurity going on in Nigeria. The present president now even came up with a march against the insecurity going on in Nigeria as at then under President Goodluck Jonathan. But he continued. And for that reason, Nigerians were specifically against that Goodluck Jonathan regime because he couldn't tackle the insecurity. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into power. The insecurity continued. But mind you, if you look back, if you rate from the time President Goodluck Jonathan was in power towards the end and when it was about time for campaign, you see there was an escalation in terms of the insecurity and Boko Haram's operation, the insurgents and all that, how they were operating. There was escalation. Dip it into the entry of the late President Buhari. During his tenure, yes, there was still escalation. But if you really observe, there was a time it died down. I'm not saying it was no more, but it died down. During the time of late President Buhari, it died down a bit. Yes, there was insecurity. We're still hearing cases, insurgents cases, bandits, what they were doing and all that. But still, there was some kind of controlled temple in a way. Now, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over, I started noticing a speedy rise of this insurgents operation. If you look at all this, the stats reveal that insecurity, banditry, kidnapping in Nigeria remain widely spread in regards with the enormous security spending of the government. So if you look at it, the persistence of these crimes has made many Nigerians to look at it like from this angle and think that they are influential corporations, vast interests, and also that somehow may be undermining the failure of the Nigerian army. But listen, let me tell you something. If the Nigerian army is experiencing intelligence failure in terms of its communication and networking and all that, I can tell you categorically that I do not think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is happy with what's going on. And there's no way he has not been putting effort. Again, my opinion, if there's anyone If there's anyone who I believe, my own personal opinion, guys, don't be angry with me. You're free to say what you think on the comment section, and I will review it. This is my comment section, so I will review what you say. But this is me just looking at it from a different perspective that I've been looking at it from. That the government is not competent. No, it's not an issue of the government is not competent. The government may be putting force. Yeah, I could agree for some reasons that our military or the Nigerian army is not well capable to tackle this in terms of intelligence. That's okay. It's understandable. We are growing. We're getting there. There are a lot of things we don't see that the Nigerian military army are doing. You think they are not fighting? They are. You think they are not trying to combat these things? They are. But let's try to be logical. Look at the trace of these things. If there's any reason why they are sabotaging the present president, the present sitting president, it's because there's something they believe that he's doing rightly. Any other person, be it former president and present presidential candidates. And this is what I want to say. I'll go back to what I'm saying. Let me say this to you guys. My opinion. Listen. With all the presidential candidates coming on, none of them have come to the public to say how they intend to tackle the insecurity going on in Nigeria. Because they don't know. Don't come out to tell me this and that. Don't tell me the economy this. How do you want to tackle the insecurity in Nigeria? What's your plan? Let's know their plan. That's what we're interested about. That's the first thing you should be talking about. So all this campaigning and all that presidential campaign, listen, for me, it makes no sense. I'm in a place where right now, it's not about even party and all that. I'm not concerned about the political parties and all that. My interest right now is the insecurity going on in Nigeria. And I still say it, if there's anybody capable presently that can take care of this, is the sitting president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And if he was not sitting, I would still say he's the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because he has the guts to do it. But I know that for some reason, maybe I may be wrong, there may be some sabotage that could be affecting or undermining the government strength, even the military. Similarities within Jonathan's era. Let me read this start to you. Jonathan's era, rising insecurity dominates public debate. President Tinubu, rising insecurity dominates public debates. Question about intelligence failure. Question about intelligence failure for President Tinubu. Large security budget with poor public confidence. Large security budgets with poor public confidence. That's under Goodluck Jonathan. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Large security budget with poor public confidence. President Jonathan. Kidnapping and attacks created fear nationwide. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Kidnapping and attacks continued nationwide. Similarities. That's why I say it's a familiar spirit. Pardon me to say. It's familiar spirit. These two governments, towards the end of a tenure to riding to election, have both experienced similar things. Now, under the present president, it has escalated. Now, during the time of President Goodluck Jonathan, it was just Boko Haram operating and taking possessions of some small cities and towns and all that. They would just be in possession of those cities and do whatever they want to do. Steal from people's farm and all that. Chase people away and all that. But under this present president, it has escalated. Kidnappings. There's another stat I want to share with you. Because we're looking at this from one aspect, but we need to understand what's really going on. Now, a side-by-side comparison. Issues, main threat. Under Jonathan, Boko Haram insurgency. Under Tinubu, kidnapping and banditry. Territory seized by criminals. Yes, in the north, under President Jonathan. Under President Tinubu, generally no large territorial control. I will explain something. Just take note of these things. I will explain something to you. Mass school adoptions. Under President Jonathan, Chibok girls, the 276 girls, was like the main issue then. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, several mass school kidnappings. Ransom economy. Present but less documented. Yeah, there were ransom. Present but less documented. Under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, 2.23 trillion in 1 year. What are you telling me? This is not people doing this to sabotage the government. 2.23 trillion in ransom within a period of 1 year. 2.23 trillion in ransom has been paid in a period of 1 year. God, what's the GDP of Nigeria? Oh my God. Like, what's going on? How much will they borrow from World Bank? How much will they borrow from World Bank? How much debt is Nigeria holding? Nigeria has paid ransom over 2.2 trillion to bandits, to kidnappers, to Boko Haram in a period of 1 year. And you want me to think that it is the failure of the government? No. There are some people sabotaging the government. It's sabotage in a way. Sabotage undermines your capacity to show the good works you've done. There's no way we'll not say to some capacity, the present government has not done some things that we should give them credit. If you look at the trace, you see that what's going on is like something that has been planned even before this period in time. Why is it that towards when we are getting towards election, so they internally want to sabotage the APC government, and that's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in terms of presidency. So Nigerians can this is where we have to be very wise. We have to be very wise. President Bola Ahmed has the guts to fight this insecurity. As a president, sir, I'm pleading with you. I know you believe in the Nigerian army, and I do believe also in the Nigerian army. But you see the insecurity going on right now. You don't have to rely on only the Nigerian army. Yeah, you can seek international help, but if there's more help you should seek some of the help of the local security private companies. Because of artificial intelligence, I feel that individuals and private security organizations that could be of more help to the government and also to the Nigerian military. And this is why I'm saying that don't rely on just only the Nigerian army and all the security operational forces or bodies. Try to look far from that. Come to seek help from the public. And I believe together we can tackle some of this insecurity. And they say we, like I know, and yes, I can also do my own part. But come to think of it, I mean, with my own basic knowledge, I see that, like, you begin to see that this thing is so. For me, I just want to say that, Mr. President, sir, I believe you can tackle this insecurity. Now, you may not get it right 100%, but you make a change. Make a change, Mr. President. And you are the sitting president, the chief commander of armed forces. Mr. President, sir, you have the authority, the power to make change. Write your name in the history of Nigeria presidency as one of the presidents who truly tackled insecurity in Nigeria. Again, I say, if there's anyone who I believe can do it, I believe it is you. Because you won the sitting president. And secondly, you have one of the best minister of defense under your in this your administration that Nigeria has ever gotten. One of the best minister of defense. Because trust me, it's if anybody or you or Nigerians are not really looking at the military might in this short period, that you think the army is not, the Nigerian army, they are not working, they are working. And the difference is so much than we've seen in the past years. So there's difference. The Nigerian army is working. But somehow, there's something somehow that is undermining the success, undermining the effort, undermining the capability of the Nigerian army. And like as I say, this happens to be intelligence, because I believe if the army gets more information, okay, they could be able to even do more. So the Nigerian army, I'm also telling you, this is not time to push the public away. This is time for you to start embracing some of the public, some of the information that you hear. Some people that come to social media and talk, don't threaten them. Draw them closer. Threatening people not to speak would furtherly hinder the peace of the sitting president. What would it benefit you if the people come into the street and start a revolution? It's the leaders that will suffer it. Look at what happened in Nepal. This is time to draw the public to yourself. Don't chase them away. This is time to draw people, individuals. Mr. President, listen to me. I am pleading with you. I may not know much, but from where I sit down, I see some things. Sir, tell the security agencies, don't chase people away. Bring people closer to you now. Bring the public closer to you now to fight this insurgency, to fight this kidnapping, to fight this Boko Haram, to fight this terrorism going on in Nigeria. It's a shame. Like as I said, from this time on now, I would rather plead to the public. Yes, we come out to speak more. Let's come out to speak more. But let's not put all the blame on the government. Let's try to come together and see how we can individually help the government. Because whether we like it or not, the government is still in power. It's the government that can make changes. And the only way we can best do this is to support the government. Yes, we can criticize the government. We can criticize them, but not to fight the government in a way that would more determine what the Nigerian army and the government is presently trying to do. Let's not make it seem like they are not trying. Let's not make it seem that they are not. There's no way the president is okay with what is going on. Nobody can tell that. Mr. President, I'm begging you, sir. Try to look at it from this angle. It will benefit Nigeria. Have a nice day.